Welcome to America's Health Talk with your host, Dee Maribal.
Well, hello and welcome to the show. Are you feeling tired all the time? What about colds? Do you get them often? Would you like to increase your energy levels? If so, stay tuned because today we're going to be talking about a breakthrough that can help you boost your health, increase your energy, and dramatically improve how good you feel. In fact, in just a few short weeks, you'll look and feel better. You'll be more focused, your productivity will soar, and over the long term, you'll live healthier with less immune-related problems. Our guest is Dr. James F. Balch, M.D. He's a leading researcher, lecturer, and he's an expert in anti-aging. He's co-authored a number of best-selling books, including Prescription for Nutritional Healing, with over 8 million copies sold. Congratulations. And most recently, Prescription for Natural Cures. In addition to these, Dr. Balch hosts a weekly radio show on WSRadio.com. Dr. Balch, welcome back to the program.
Oh, thank you, Lee. Glad to be here
Always
with you.
Nice to have you here. Dr. Balch, tell us about this amazing breakthrough that can boost our health and dramatically improve the way we look and feel.
Well, that would be my privilege, Lee. It's a product called Immunocal. Immunocal, and it does only one thing. It raises the level of glutathione in your body.
Glutathione. Doctor, what is glutathione? Am I pronouncing it right?
That's exactly right.
Okay, good. What is glutathione, and why is it important that we raise our glutathione levels?
Well, Lee, it's almost impossible to overstate the importance of having good glutathione levels, and here's why. You must have glutathione in your cells to stay alive. You see, your body uses it to handle the effects of stress and fatigue, pollution, illness, yes, and even aging. And that's why it's so important to replenish or raise and sustain your glutathione level.
Well, since this was the first time I really have heard of glutathione, I did some research before today's show. And Dr. Balch, I was very surprised to learn that scientists have known about glutathione for years and its direct connection to health and wellness. So tell me something. Why haven't we heard anything about it? And why hasn't anybody told us how to raise our glutathione levels?
Well, it's a fact that we have known about glutathione for many years. We've known about it and its benefits for quite some time. The reason why more people aren't actively raising their glutathione levels is because until very recently, we didn't know how to do it. Now we do. Scientists have clinically proven that Immunocal raises the body's level of glutathione in a natural way without using harmful drugs.
Okay, so now we know how to raise our glutathione levels, but how does that benefit me? Why should I do that?
Well, Lee, if you can remember the word AID, that is AID, you'll know all you need to know to get all of the health benefits from Immunocal. Remember, the A stands for antioxidant, the I stands for the immune system, and D is for detoxification.
Okay, so doctor, can we take a look at each of these key functions separately in a little more detail?
Yes, of course. First, glutathione is an antioxidant. Because glutathione is the major antioxidant produced naturally in the body, many scientists refer to it as the master antioxidant.
Why is that?
Well, I'll get to that in just a moment, Lee, but first we need to understand why antioxidants are so important to our health. And we have also to understand the importance of understanding about free radicals and what we call oxidative stress.
Now, I have heard of free radicals, but what's oxidative stress? That's all I need is another stress in my life.
Bless your heart. None of us need more stress. Oxidative stress is caused by the free radicals. These are the bad guys. And here's a quick example that everyone will understand. Take an apple, cut it in two, and you'll notice right away that it starts to turn brown. This is the rotting process of the apple. As time goes by, the apple becomes mushy. If you wait long enough, say a week later, that apple will be quite a bit mushier, and if you come back a month later, the apple may not be there at all. And that's all because free radicals are causing oxidative stress and damage and the breakdown of the apple. Another example of free radicals causing oxidative stress is the rust that forms on unprotected metal, like when you scrape the paint off your car.
So is this oxidative stress working against us in our bodies, just like that piece of rusting metal or that apple?
Absolutely, Lee. In fact, we call it the rusting, rotting syndrome. In fact, our body is literally a free radical generator. And when our cells consume nutrients to produce energy, millions of these bad guy free radicals are generated.
That sounds serious. How do free radicals affect our bodies?
Well, just about all scientists now agree that free radicals are one of the major causes of aging. Some of the side effects of aging are very familiar to all of us, like less energy, feeling tired, the loss of sexual function. Free radicals also make us more susceptible to illness and disease. And as we age, we get sick more often, and we don't heal or recover from illness as quickly as we do, and that's linked to free radicals.
Ouch, that's a depressing thought in itself. So, doctor, how can we avoid free radicals?
Well, Lee, unfortunately, the truth is you really can't. Your body is a source of free radicals, and there's absolutely no way we can escape from having free radicals formed in our bodies. And unfortunately, they do take a serious toll on our health.
Let me make sure I understand this now. So with all these free radicals being produced in our body, why aren't we all shriveling up and wasting away as fast or as bad as that rotten apple you described?
Well, Lee, some would say that's exactly what's happening to me. And that's because if it weren't for the free radicals, our bodies produce these antioxidants to reduce and eliminate these free radicals, neutralizing them.
And because glutathione is an antioxidant, it helps us fight off the effects of free radicals?
Yes, but not only that. Remember, glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. To me, this is its single most important thing. And here's why it's very important to you. None of the antioxidants, such as vitamin C or E, can work properly without glutathione. Glutathione regenerates and recycles them, that is, the vitamin C and E and the other antioxidants, so they can remain in your body longer and neutralize more free radicals. When you take Immunocal and raise your glutathione level, you actually boost the power and effectiveness of vitamin C and E and all the other antioxidants.
So, doctor, is Immunocal the only practical and natural way to raise our glutathione levels in order to protect ourselves from this free radical damage? Do I understand this right?
In a word, I'd say yes. Immunocal is the only product clinically proven to raise glutathione levels at the cellular level on a long-term basis. It's actually the only practical way to raise glutathione levels.
But what about the glutathione I can buy at the health food store?
Well, I used to recommend that to people until I found out it was a waste of their money. Glutathione in that form is useless because it simply breaks down in the digestive system. You cannot ingest glutathione to feed it to your cells. It must be manufactured within your cells, and in order to do that, you must give your body the glutathione building blocks it needs.
But Dr. Balch, can't we get glutathione building blocks in our foods without taking Immunocal?
Well, yes, you could do that, but it's really not practical. You simply can't get enough glutathione to do you any good just from the food you eat. For example, you'd have to drink a gallon of raw milk to get the same amount of glutathione building blocks contained in one 10-gram package of Immunocal. To raise your glutathione level to where it would do you any good, you'd have to consume so much raw milk that you'd have to buy a new and larger wardrobe, probably because of all the weight that you'd gain. Right now, Immunocal is the only practical way you can raise the glutathione level in your body's cells.
Well, there's our music. You know, when we come back, we'll talk about how you can protect yourself and your family from germs and viruses. If you've ever been laid up with something the kids picked up at school, you won't want to miss this. You're listening to America's Health Talk. I'm Lee Mirabal. We'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to America's Health Talk with your hosts, Lee Mirabal.
We live in a toxic world. Dr. James Balch, author of Prescription for Nutritional Healing, has said that we are living in a world teeming with dangerous toxins. Even though we can't avoid the toxins that pollute our air, water, and food, you can do something about it. When you raise your glutathione levels, your body eliminates toxins that can rob you of energy, mental clarity, and well-being. And the only practical way of raising your glutathione that has been clinically proven and patented is Immunocal.
Welcome to America's Health Talk with your host, Lee Mirabal.
Welcome back. My guest is Dr. James F. Balch, MD. Dr. Balch, here we are again. Besides helping us fight free radicals, which is what we were talking about earlier, what else does glutathione do for us?
Well, Lee, let's go baid, AID. The I stands for the immune system. Glutathione is an immune system booster. Immunocal has been described literally as the food for the immune system. Immunocal is the food for the immune system.
Why is the immune system so important?
Well, in my opinion, the immune system is the single most important system in our body. It is our body's first line of defense. It's extremely intelligent. It knows when foreign invaders like germs or viruses are attacking you, and it creates chemical reactions to fight off the infection. That in itself is an amazing fact. But what's even more impressive is that it remembers what it did to fight off a particular infection. So if it attacks you a second time, this infection, all the defenses are already in place, and you won't get sick. That's the whole basis of getting vaccinations, to immunize yourself against disease.
So, doctor, there's always seems to be something going around. I mean, I catch something at work. I feel miserable for a week. My grandchildren catch a bug and miss a week of school, and they give it to me. What's going on here?
Well, Lee, it's partially because we're spending less time outside. Staying indoors is a major contributor to the spread of disease. We live or we work in buildings with central heating and air conditioning, which recycle old, stale air. This means that whatever is in the air is being distributed all over the building. In fact, we now know that the air inside our buildings is far more toxic than the air outside.
That is pretty frightening when you consider how bad the quality of the air here is in Southern California, where you and I live. To say that indoors it's worse is scary.
That is absolutely true. And it's the same thing when you're using public transportation, especially those who travel by air. All that air in that enclosed space is circulated throughout the entire airplane. That's why so many people get sick when they travel. The truth is that it's virtually impossible to avoid exposing ourselves to the things that can make us sick.
So why doesn't everybody get sick when there's something going around? I mean, some people, I look at them, they stay healthy even though they're exposed to the exact same thing as someone who gets sick. So what's the difference here?
Well, Lee, the person who doesn't get sick very often has a stronger immune system that was able to protect him. You simply cannot avoid the harmful organisms that attack your body on a daily basis. And because of that, I think it's absolutely essential that to be healthy, people must keep their immune systems working efficiently. And now, with Immunocal, you can do just that by providing your immune system with the natural fuel it needs to keep you healthy.
Well, can't we just take antibiotics to boost our immune system?
Well, antibiotics that's a very great question. A lot of people think that. But the fact is, we've all been hearing about how antibiotics aren't as effective as they used to be against certain disease entities caused by germs. And a lot of that has happened because of the overuse and, in my opinion, abuse of antibiotics. If someone goes on antibiotics and stops taking them because they start feeling better, the germs that weren't killed off are able to build up a resistance so that the drug is not any longer effective. And over time, the antibiotic can have literally no effect at all on the germ.
So what you're saying is that casual use of antibiotics is the cause of many of these super-resistant germs?
That's right. The super-resistant bugs are out there because we use them inappropriately and overly used. Yes, and that's not the only bad thing about using antibiotics. They can also damage normal cells along with the bacteria or whatever the invading agent is. So the best thing you can do to stay healthy and keep the germs from turning into superbugs is to strengthen your immune system.
Dr. Balch, a lot of people are on medication that they simply cannot stop taking. So what about drug interactions? Is it safe to take Immunocal if you're on one or more medications?
Yes, it is. You see, Immunocal provides only the building blocks from a food or nutrient standpoint, which means it only optimizes the function of the body's cells. This means it does not create any interaction problems with the medication that someone might be taking. All that being said, however, those people that are undergoing immunosuppressive therapy should discuss the use of Immunocal with their physician.
Thank you, Doctor. When we come back, you're going to be absolutely shocked when you find out what toxins are in our food, air, and water. Stay with us. I'm Lee Mirabal. You're listening to America's Health Talk.
You're listening to America's Health Talk with your hosts, Lee Mirabal.
What do all healthy 100-year-old people who are active, engaged, and enjoying life have in common? It's high glutathione levels. Now, if your glutathione levels don't match what these healthy 100-year-olds have, there's a solution for you. It's been clinically proven that you can raise your glutathione levels with Immunocal.
Welcome to America's Health Talk with your host, Lee Mirabal.
Welcome back. We're speaking with Dr. James F. Balch, MD. He's a leading expert and researcher in the field of anti-aging medicine. Okay, doctor, we've talked about free radicals. I've learned a lot today. We've talked about antioxidants and the immune system. Now, let's talk about something we hear a lot about these days, toxins in our environment. Is this a real problem?
Lee, just like free radicals and harmful organisms, toxins are everywhere. We can't avoid them. In fact, the FDA is putting out warnings about high levels of mercury in tuna. Air pollution is so bad that reporting the air quality here in Southern California is a staple on the evening news. And water quality is so bad that soft drink manufacturers are literally making a fortune on bottled water. Many people are buying higher-priced organically produced foods because they're alarmed that the pesticides and herbicides and other chemical additives to their foods may be harming them. And that's just starters.
You mean there's even more? I'm already frightened after hearing about the toxins you just mentioned.
Lee, I don't want to sugarcoat it, but it is a fact that we live in a world teeming with dangerous toxins. We cannot avoid it no matter where we go, but we must learn to cope with it.
So can Immunocal help us cope with toxins?
Absolutely. Remember AID? Well, the D stands for detoxification. You see, glutathione is a very important detoxifying agent. It helps the body get rid of toxins and pollutants like the heavy metals mercury, arsenic, lead, cadmium, automobile exhaust, and other toxins that are in our environs. And when people rid their body of toxins, and this is very important, when you get rid of the toxins or you detoxify, you typically have more energy and feel better both emotionally and physically.
Are there certain groups of people that might be more susceptible to toxins? Are there, in other words, some people that may be at greater risk than others?
That's an excellent question, Lee. In fact, specific groups of people who are more susceptible than others are the young, growing children and us older folks. I include myself that, dear. Younger children.
I hope you were not including me in that one.
Younger children are at greater risk because they're still developing and their bodies absorb a higher percentage of the toxins than an adult would. And the older person, he's susceptible because as we age, the glutathione levels drop. And now when glutathione levels drop, the body's defense mechanisms start to falter. That's one of the reasons why older people get sick more often.
So you're saying that older people and young children should be taking Immunocal?
Yes, that's an unqualified yes, but I wouldn't limit it to just those two groups, Lee. I can't stress enough that we're all at risk. Every minute of every day, we're literally swimming in an ocean of free radicals, these harmful substances, and organisms that can make us sick and even kill us. You can't avoid them, because they're in your food, water, and the very air that you breathe.
Well, now I am getting paranoid. Doctor, if we're constantly surrounded by free radicals, toxins, and those harmful organisms, that's got to be taking a tremendous toll on our bodies.
Again, Lee, you're absolutely right. With harmful organisms, you can feel their painful effects almost immediately. However, with free radicals and these toxins, they're far more insidious. It may take many years before you even notice the effects of the constant, unrelenting deterioration of your health. And that's why no matter what age you are or how healthy you seem to be, you want to take action to protect yourself by taking Immunocal as soon as possible. This will help raise your glutathione levels and maintain your immune system at its highest level.
Doctor, what about athletes? You know, they're already fit and healthy. You see them all the time here in Southern California. Can Immunocal help them?
Let me say it again, Lee. We're all at risk. Yes, even the athletes, especially the athletes. Can you believe this? Even though they may appear to be perfect in that picture of health, Olympic caliber athletes generally have weakened immune systems. And this is because their glutathione levels are depleted from all the free radicals produced during their intense training. They should definitely be taking Immunocal.
Doctor, I would never have guessed that athletes were so vulnerable. They certainly have so much to gain from Immunocal. You certainly can't break world records if you're coming down with the flu, though, can you?
Well, if athletes are looking to break world records, Lee, there's still another very exciting benefit for them. One study published in the Journal of Applied Physiology confirmed that young men and women who took Immunocal for 3 months increased their strength and power by 13%.
Wow.
So it's doubly important from a health viewpoint and from a performance viewpoint for the athlete to take Immunocal on a regular basis.
A 13% increase. That is a phenomenal gain in strength and power. We'll be back in a moment. This is very exciting with Dr. James F. Balch, MD, to find out more about this amazing product. I'm Lee Maribal. You're listening to America's Health Talk.
You're listening to America's Health Talk with your hosts, Lee Maribal.
We live in a toxic world. Dr. James Balch, author of Prescription for Nutritional Healing, has said that we are living in a world teeming with dangerous toxins. Even though we can't avoid the toxins that pollute our air, water, and food, you can do something about it. When you raise your glutathione levels, your body eliminates toxins that can rob you of energy, mental clarity, and well-being. And the only practical way of raising your glutathione that has been clinically proven and patented is Immunocal.
Welcome to America's Health Talk with your host, Lee Maribal.
Welcome back to the program. Dr. Balch, we've been talking about all the marvelous things that Immunocal can do for us, but what is Immunocal exactly, and how do we take it?
Well, Lee, it's a milk protein isolate in powder form made from whey protein. You just mix it with some water or juice and drink it, or you can mix it with your applesauce or whatever food you like. It's pretty much tasteless, so it's really easy to take.
What about people who are allergic to milk? Can they take Immunocal?
That's a great question, too, because there are a lot of people who are allergic to milk, and most of these people are allergic to the lactose in the milk. But Immunocal has 99% of the lactose removed so that even people who are lactose intolerant can tolerate it well. In fact, it's safe for people of all ages, mainly because of the ingredients that are within it, which are almost exactly like human breast milk. And I said earlier, people who are on drugs that suppress the immune system should first consult their doctor before taking Immunocal.
Doctor, you said Immunocal was a milk protein isolate made from whey protein. Well, I see whey protein powder all the time at my local health food store. Will that give me the same benefits as Immunocal?
It's another one of your good questions, Lee, because some people might actually believe that Immunocal is simply a whey protein powder. It really is not. Immunocal is made by a completely different process than the whey protein powders found in your health stores. The process for making regular whey protein powder destroys the component that raises glutathione levels in the body cells. Whey protein powder is a great source of protein, but it does not raise glutathione levels. On the other hand, the special patented process for making Immunocal preserves the glutathione-raising component.
What about other alternatives, then? Are there other products out there that do what Immunocal can do?
No, in fact, that's because Immunocal has obtained what is called a method of use patent. Method of use patents are extremely difficult and costly to get. In fact, they're usually granted for new drugs only, not natural foods like Immunocal. And Immunocal has been clinically proven to raise glutathione levels by using this patented delivery process. No other product can make that claim.
Dr. Balch, in my research before the show, I found out that Immunocal is listed in the physician's desk reference, also known as the PDR. Is that significant?
Oh, yes. It makes a huge difference to its credibility in the eyes of the folks in the healthcare profession. It includes we doctors and nurses, and especially the pharmacists, because it's also in the pharmacist's red book, which is the pharmacist's counterpart to the PDR. The PDR is a baseline standard to show that there's been due diligence performed on any product. And it's exciting to see a natural fruit product like Immunocal in the PDR.
Dr. Balch, I've learned a heck of a lot today, and we talked about Immunocal and what it can do for you and why it's so important for people to start taking Immunocal right away. Do you have any last comments for us?
Yes, Lee, so many people take their health for granted. And if you are healthy, that's a very normal thing to do. But then one day you get sick. Or you look in the mirror and you notice some new wrinkles in your face that weren't there before. Or maybe you don't have the energy or even the mental clarity that you used to have. You're shocked. And maybe you begin to realize that in order to have a higher quality of life, you're going to have to actively do something about it. The time to start working on staying energized and vibrant for the rest of your life is now, no matter what your age. And the earlier in life that you start taking care of yourself, the longer you're going to look good and feel great. Along with moderate exercise and eating right, I can't think of anything better that you can do for your overall health and well-being than taking Immunocal on a regular basis. I don't believe it's an option anymore if you want to stay healthy. And in fact, in today's world, you're constantly exposed to these free radical bad guys, the harmful organisms, and the toxins that are in your foods that you eat, the air that you breathe, and the water that you drink. These can lead to premature aging, fogging of your thinking abilities, and cause you to even get sick. They literally drain your energy and cause the life force to actually flow out of you. You can't escape them, but you can help neutralize their effects by taking Immunocal. Today, there is no better way to boost your immune system. It's my opinion that everyone should be taking Immunocal.
Thank you so much, Doctor. I've learned a lot from you. We all have. You've been listening to America's Health Talk. I'm Lee Mirabal, along with Dr. James F. Balch, and we both want to wish you a long and healthy life.
You're listening to America's Health Talk with your hosts, Lee Mirabal.
What do all healthy 100-year-old people who are active, engaged, and enjoying life have in common? It's high glutathione levels. Now, if your glutathione levels don't match what these healthy 100-year-olds have, there's a solution for you. It's been clinically proven that you can raise your glutathione levels with Immunocal.